You got audio? All right, we're good. We got thumbs up. Everybody's attending online. That's where everybody is. Everybody's online. They're just sitting in their fuzzy bunny slippers. Exactly, and they're getting ready. That's right. They got.
Saving up energy.
That's right. They've got those little styrofoam things between their toes after you. After you get a pedicure. Exactly. So they. Not that I've ever had one. I could use one probably. All right. How about you try that sometime? Any guys here ever had a pedicure? Come on, admit it. Have you?
Just now.
Just now?
Yeah, yesterday.
Look at you. Do you still have those little styrofoam things between your toes?
I polished my nails so they're nice and shiny.
Nice. Are you wearing sandals to the party today? All right, absolutely. You better. If you're going to spend money to get a pedicure, you can go hide those under a shoe, right? What good is that? Are they? Come on now. Only you got. You know what? There's a man secure in his manhood right there that will admit that he's had a pedicure. All right, that's what it takes. So awesome. Good morning. Welcome everybody.
Good morning.
Holy smokes. Jiminy Christmas. I got literally Jiminy Christmas. We've got to get things fired up around here. So a couple things. How many of you guys came to see Jason Daraj? Because he was coming to share his infinite wisdom with us and how he sold 70 now homes probably this year. He's just cranking it. Well, he's too busy selling 73, 74, and 75, so he can't make it. All right, so we'll maybe try and catch him next time. He begged out, just said, hey, look, I'm just slammed. I got out-of-town buyers that are here, and I got to get them under contract. He's just killing it, though, so we'll talk about that. Everybody does know about the party today, right? Everybody coming? Yes, 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 yes. No? So, well, good. Go sell a house, all right? Bring them. It's kind of just, come on. You just kind of bring them in. That's good. That's good. That'd be fine. 1 o'clock we decided. Okay, we couldn't remember the time, but 1 o'clock is the starting, right? Okay, 1 to 4, come at 1, stay till 4, come at 3:55 and eat some crumbs and leave at 4, whatever it takes, all right? The key is leave at 4. All right, I was shutting the doors down. That's the opportune thing. So we'll get that done. Couple quick things. I'm going to go through. Maureen's not here because she's out probably prepping for the party. Jim, you got anything for us that you need to get information out to the agents?
Well, just remember dues are going to be January 6th. We won't know, or you guys won't see us again in the meeting until January, so might as well say that.
Right. So and if you Maureen always says that, update your stuff. Our quarterly dues, they'll be hit January, first week of January.
Send an email out. So
right. Just make sure your stuff's updated. If you do it by auto debit or whatever it is, just make sure that's all freshened up and ready to go. That credit card has room on it. All right, even after the holidays, that it still has room on it for us to hit it to get that done. Howard, how are you, man? Good. I'll come back and touch on a couple quick things at the end as far as some changes that are be coming next year. Some things I'm really excited about. That more opportunities, we're going to have opportunities to get together, more times to, I'll be roaming the offices a little bit, so I'll kind of be moving around between all the different locations, having some coffee chats and some lunch and learns and some different things that'll be going on, so we'll be having all sorts of activity. It's a little warm in here, isn't it, Jerry?
I'm always warm.
That's all right. Okay, that's the way it goes, all right. Looks like we got Jerry and David are our only true vendors other than Terry. Terry is going to have the floor here in a bit. So, Jerry, what do you got for us? Today, at the party, right, what are you supposed to bring besides you?
Food and toys.
Food and toys, right? Okay, is it toys as well?
Yes.
Okay, non-perishable items, right? If we're going to have a thing there for Metropolitan Ministries.
Right.
So.
Good morning, everyone. Jerry Pappa with Gulfview Realty Property Management. Happy holidays a little in advance, but as we prepare for the holiday season coming upon us. Today, of course, at the holiday party for Future Home Realty, the so-called admission, and I'm sorry, I cannot cool down this morning.
That's right, you're hot, dude.
I'm hot.
Like,
And
all right.
and
I'm going to liven you guys up yet. I'm telling you, it's not going to take. Jerry will be there today with drink tickets, all right, as well, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you see Jerry at the party.
we'll have drink tickets as well as 6 pounds of very fine chocolates for your desserts.
Nice.
But please bring a non-perishable food item and or toy. They're all going to Metropolitan Ministries. We're very engaged in Metropolitan Ministries as a core value. And coincidentally, it's a core value also of Future Home Realty.
Absolutely.
And I think that, you know, what we can do for people during the holiday season is a testament to who we are as human beings and helping those people that are less fortunate. And of course, as many of you know, we have a group of folks going down on the 16th of December to work in the big tent. And for any of you who would like to still sign up for that, please see me so we can add your name to the list. And for those of you who have added your name to the list, make sure you go to the email that was recently sent out by either Jim or Bob that has the link on there that takes you right to Metropolitan Ministries, because in the past you had to fill out a paper to bring with you for registration, but now you do it online. And yesterday she gave me a call and she said that we still only had 9 people signed up, yet on my sign-in sheet at the office, I believe we're nearing 18. So we have to get that done, otherwise they release our spaces and subsequently somebody else fills those in.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get what?
The email. And I signed up.
For the link. Can you send, how about the people that have signed up on your link, that you have the 18, can you send them out directly the information they need?
Sure.
Yeah, that way, make sure you do that way.
But Jim,
Our stuff sometimes goes to their spam.
Right, if there's a link involved, sometimes, because we're sending it out to masses amount, but if you send it out to 18 people, all right, then
I will do that today.
All right,
or
yeah, our agents do. How come I not got invited to the holiday party? Well, you unsubscribed us, right? Well, maybe that might, okay, that's, all right. Don't unsubscribe us or resubscribe yourself if you want information from us, all right, because we are you. All right, go ahead.
and by the way, just so you know, in case you don't know me and you're new to the Future Home Realty organization, we are located in Future Home Realty. We're a professional lease and property management company. I'm the broker owner. We have a very distinct relationship with Future Home. We're not related, but we're kind of like
Second cousins.
Well, either we're like brothers from another mother.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
We share in the same core values, etc. And one thing we do is we pay referral fees, and we treat your customers right, and we always give the customer back to you when they want to buy or sell real estate. So we are your in-house solution, and we're not your competition. We're actually your advocate and a very strong supporter of your business. And many Future Home Realty agents use us today and are very satisfied with our services. So again, see you this afternoon. Thank you.
Awesome, great. Jared, they do a great job. They do property management. They're not affiliated with us, other than the fact, well, that they rent some office space from us. So they're in the West Chase building, the West Chase office, and the beauty of it, again, most people, again, I'll just reiterate this, so those of you agents that are new with us, a lot of agents do property management kind of by default or as a, you know what, I don't really want to do it, but I don't want to lose the client, right? Because that's the fear, is that if all of a sudden you turn them over to somebody or you don't do that, then 2 years from now when they decide to stop being a landlord and want to sell that property, you've lost the relationship, right? And someone else has already maintained that and fostered it, and now they're going to list with them. Jerry, the nice thing about that is Jerry keeps track of all this, and when they come back to him and say, hey, Jerry, 6 months from now when the lease is up, I think we want to sell. Oh, you know what? You need to go back to Howard, because Howard's the one who do it. So he'll send you a heads up, hey, just FYI, they're looking to sell, that kind of, so the relationship is still there. By the way, not that you shouldn't still continue to foster that relationship. You don't just throw these people aside, all right? These are people that you've had the relationship with. Continue and foster that. Let Jerry do his thing, all right? But make sure you maintain the relationship and do that. So, yes.
And I was the property manager of my own home here in West Chase for probably 2 or 3 years, and finally Jerry convinced me, and it's been great. I love it.
Awesome.
And they do a great job, and it'll cost you a couple drink tickets.
Little semi-unsolicited email testimonial, all right? Define unsolicited, all right? Does a drink ticket? Exactly, all right? Because there's a cash bar thing tonight, but our vendors will be roaming around with tickets. So they become very popular, all right? It's like, hey, yeah, if you don't have to pay for a drink, if you just go get one of those little things, diggies from Terry or whatever, all right? So, yeah, it's a good place to have, all right? Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it. David, you ready? David's our resident expert, all right?
Do you want me to join you over there?
Yeah, come on up.
All right. I still have some things to talk about.
So David is a lot of things. Owns American Patriot Title, which they do a fantastic job. In addition, he is the lead counsel for the Greater Tampa Realtors. I used to say Association of Realtors, but I've left that A out. All right, so it's Greater Tampa Realtors, and extremely knowledgeable in all things real estate, and a huge resource for us our ability to be able to have him on a monthly basis come and answer some questions from a legal standpoint, and he doesn't charge me, you know, whatever it is per hour. All right, this is good news. So the clock isn't ticking. So why don't you hold that? You got anything you want to share? Or do you want to kind of open the floor? What do you want to do?
Well, I do have something to share.
Perfect. Why don't you hold that?
And of course,
away.
that makes you break out in a cold sweat because you remember what happened the last time I had something to share.
Exactly.
It didn't work out real well. But anyway, let's see. On American Patriot Title, just want to let you know we're located next to the Cheval entrance on Dale Mabry, so we're in North Hillsborough County, and we appreciate the opportunity to do business, do title work with a number of you, and want to say thank you. I had a suggestion from Jim. Jim always has a good idea. He is the fella, he and Bob are fielding these calls, and I want you to know that they're, you know, when you're in that position, you field calls that, you know, your first reaction, you can't really say the words, but you say, you know, if this person had only, and gee, if they just listened, and anyway, but they don't share that with you because they're not the kind of people that are judgmental.
Well, that's Jim. That's why you call Jim instead of me. I mean, like, what
that's right.
the heck were you thinking?
That's right. Well, that was the next
Christmas. Read the contract, will ya?
That was the next category of response. The next category of response started off with "What the hell?" All right. So Jim had a great suggestion, and that is escrow deposit disputes. All right. That is I believe, far and away, that is the most frustrating area in real estate sales that I have to deal with, and that would be probably the most frustrating. If you haven't experienced it yet, just wait. And we're here to talk about a little bit of preventative maintenance, preventative medicine here. And the best way to avoid getting into that situation is never have an escrow dispute. So if you remember some of the things we talked about before, we have the financing contingency. I'm not going to beat that one today, but there are a number of ways that you get into an escrow dispute. Probably the biggest one, the most frequent, is the financing contingency. What you need to do is sort of think through, how in the world do I get into an escrow dispute? And I can tick off, you know, a number of ways, but basically the buyer, the transaction is not going forward for one reason or another. And when you're representing the seller or the buyer, you have to make sure, you know, have a list of things that you need to do, a timeline. I have seen recently where there was a gentleman from St. Petersburg sent us a timeline. It's somewhat common in commercial transactions, but it's a timeline of the events that are to occur. And so here's the effective date. Here is the property inspection, the due diligence period, and it just ticks off each and every one of those categories. And so on the far right-hand column, it says what date that period expires. And I can tell you, for people who are handling commercial transactions that are $3, $4, $5 million, it's very important to them, and they have deposits of $50,000 to $100,000. They want to make sure that there are no escrow disputes. All right, and I would say that is the absolute best way of making sure that you don't get into a dispute, because once we get into a little bit later in this conversation, you'll understand, boy, I just want to avoid those at all costs, because there's no real good way, an easy way to resolve this. And to one extent or another, you're going to be, your client is going to be upset at you. You may not have had anything to do with this, but it's going to be something that they're going to be very frustrated with, that they got into this situation. And some of them are not as comfortable with themselves as other people, and they immediately like to blame someone else. And since you're the closest one to them in that transaction, they tend to blame you. And before I go any further, I just want to make sure that I'm not overstepping my time.
You got
okay, because I'm just getting warmed up. Okay.
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell. All right.
Closing. I always say that with about 10 minutes left in my speech, right?
Was that?
When you say "and in closing."
And in closing.
You've got about 15 minutes left.
There you go. 15. All right. So I've got wide discretion here. All right. And first of all, when you have some people say, well, you know, when you have a dispute, are you supposed to notify DBPR Division of Real Estate, and you got 10 days and 15 days and this and that, and you have to elect your remedies. And when deposits used to be held by brokers back in the day, some brokers still hold escrow, not too many. Those rules applied. And so if you in a situation where the deposit money is being held by a broker, someone who is who is licensed under Chapter 475, then you do have these time limitations where you do have to notify the DBPR Division of Real Estate that you have a dispute. You have to, within a certain period of time after that, you have to elect one of the 3 remedies. And then you have to follow through and you have to get some kind of resolution. The vast majority of cases, as you know, you think about, well, where did all those deposits go? Most of them go to title companies. Title companies are not governed by, or not regulated by, Chapter 475, so there's no obligation of any party to notify DBPR Division of Real Estate to start that process that would lead to, or might lead to an escrow dispute order, or electing arbitration, or litigation. That's not required. So just want to, some people are confused about that. Some people haven't been in the business long enough to realize that there's something to be confused about. But anyway, so when you have an escrow dispute, typically the way these things get worked out is, probably the vast majority of them, is that there's some discussion between either the sales associates or the brokers or a combination of them. And typically it's a bit of an argument or making points about, hey, this is how this happened, this is how we understand. All right, once you get into that situation and you have violated one of the obligations in your timeline, you are compromising your situation, your client's right to that deposit, and you're also compromising, you're making Jim's and Bob's predicament more difficult. So once again, I get back to that timeline. The best way to avoid being in that dispute is to make sure that you know what the timelines are, when you're required to do something, and the last part of it is that you document that whatever was supposed to take place got done, all right? Because when once again, when you're in this situation that Jim and Bob find themselves in, and you're wanting to advocate on your behalf, and I know that they do, and they do a heck of a good job, they are only as good as the information and the documentation that they have. So, number one, have a timeline. The best thing to do is to circulate that with other parties to the transaction, but if you don't do that, have a timeline that you in the front of your file, or have that available to you, and constantly refer to that, so that you know, and you're conversant with, if the client, your buyer or seller calls up and says, well, what's the next deadline? Boom, right off the top of your head, you can tell them exactly where you are in certain time frames. And if you do that, I will say for the most part, you will avoid being in escrow dispute situations. There are other escrow disputes that are caused by the other side, but if you do what I've shared with you to do, the timeline and document, then if for some reason the other party causes you to be in an escrow dispute, then you will be, and Jim will be, and Bob will be in a much better situation, because you will have, I guess so the highest compliment I can pay a broker or a sales associate when I open the file or I develop the facts, you are able to shock and awe the other side. It's like, what's there to argue about? This is over with, done. Stick a fork in me, it's over.
So David, okay,
yes.
real world, all right. Okay, so first of all, what he's saying is be defensible, right? Okay, understand your timelines and have something to defend against, right? But at the end of the day, here's the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
We can be right all day long, and the seller says, I ain't signing it. Mm-hmm. All right? Hey, we delivered our declination letter from the lender prior to the expiration of the commitment period, or in the window, that financing window we talked about, mm-hmm. post-commitment period, pre-7 day prior to closing, mm-hmm. where either party may cancel, or, hey, you know what, we had our home inspection, and it was an as-is inspection based upon your insistence, Mr. Seller, and now you don't like the fact that it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for us as a buyer, because it is. Because I can say at my sole discretion, I didn't like the size of the baseboards, I'm out, okay? So with that in mind, now I've delivered that in a timely manner, mm-hmm. and the seller says, I ain't signing. And the title company says, unless both parties sign, I'm not releasing, mm-hmm. right? Okay, so they throw their hands up, and then the buyer's in a position of, okay, well, how in the heck do I get my money back? Mm-hmm. Right? Number one is I get to go and sue them in civil court and get a judge to sign an order saying you will release the money, because that's what the title company will tell you. Hey, without a judge's order and or both parties signing. Now, my point to the title company, of which you are an owner of one,
that's what I've heard.
Okay, is Well, both parties have signed something that says here's what's going to happen to the escrow. It's called the contract. They both signed saying, hey, look, if the buyer delivers in a 9 days, after the effective date, that they're going to back out based upon the inspection at their sole discretion. What more do you need signed? The seller has already agreed to release the earnest money. And you as a title company say, well, yeah, but unless they formally agree that that's, and I don't want to get sued, right? That's what you're saying. So how do we defend our buyers, even if they're 100% right, we have all the documentation and everything else, and then we say, all right, you know what, guys, we could go to David and hire him for $2,000 to go after our $1,000 bucks, all right? Or we could just split it, all right? So we end up splitting it, but the buyer has no, I mean, what remedy, I guess, what is this? Okay, it's a long question, isn't it? This is all one question. It's a run-on sentence. I'm glad Mrs. Thistlebottom, my English teacher, wasn't listening to this run-on sentence I have going on. The result is, what remedy do we have? If I do hire you for $2,000, can I hire you to get my $1,000 back and your $2,000 that it cost me to go get the $1,000 bucks? That's real world.
Well, here, just to sort of end the process, what happens is, as far as title companies, when you say we're not releasing any money until we have something signed, all right, and what the better explanation is that, okay, very well, there's a contract that was signed by both parties, but what we're looking for is a disbursement.
I understand.
Right.
I understand.
And the reason for that is exactly what you alluded to, because what title company, right now, when a dispute starts, a title company is in the position of merely holding money. There's no active role. There's been no decision. There's absolutely no blame that can be made. You can tell that I own a title company.
Right.
There's absolutely no blame that you can place on a title company if the title company makes those decisions as far as winners and losers. All right. So what title companies want to avoid doing is making a decision as far as who the winners and losers are, paying out the money, and then the loser, the one that didn't get paid the money, says, uh-oh, they have taken an active role. The first thing that an attorney representing that side would say is that, okay, we're going to include the title company. They did this, and as a result, they owe us this amount of money. So that's the...
I understand. So we understand they won't do it. So here's my question.
Right.
If the buyer says, I'm not going to split it, I'm absolutely right. I have the contract is perfectly clear.
Right.
I've done everything I'm supposed to do under the terms of the contract. The money should be mine. Why should I have to split it? Or why should I have to pay you $2,000 to get $1,000 back? Or if I am going to pay $2,000 to get $1,000 back, can you not only get my $1,000 but your $2,000? Okay.
Okay. Let me...
Short answer. Yes or no? Can you do it?
Well, before I get to that, and I will answer that question. I believe the answer...
Don't hamina on me. Give me an answer.
There's an attorney's fee provision in your contract that says a prevailing party.
Does that apply to escrow disputes as well?
I believe it does.
Okay.
I can double check that in a moment.
All right.
But
so what he's saying, there is a prevailing, that's why we use the FAR bar contract, says the prevailing party shall have the right to gain legal fees back from the non-prevailing party. Meaning winner gets the money from the loser.
Well, now
it has the potential of
that is not as easy as it looks. You get a judgment. You're entitled to a judgment, and then you would have to collect the judgment against the other side, which is not. Which just sort of underscores what I started off with, and that is that it's one of the most frustrating. When we get back to, you want to avoid it at all costs. The way you avoid it is to. You're thinking, man, a timeline, that takes a lot of time, and then
well, I understand that, but you're going with the whole, trust me, we see it every day.
Right.
We do it right, and the seller still refuses to sign. Because, I don't care. They backed out. No, the contract says they can. If you want to call it back out, call it what you want. The contract is clear that they can. And the seller refuses to sign. So my advice always, if you guys would call me before you write it, all right, is it's antithetical to what most people believe. Give the smallest amount of deposit you can, because you have to end up splitting it. Split $10 instead of $1,000. All right. Well, the sellers don't like that. Well, I don't like it when the sellers don't abide by the contract. All right. That's well, you're not timed any. They got no skin in the game. They have no skin in the game for the first 10 days anyway on an as-is contract. You guys understand that? It is a get-out-of-jail-free card. All right?
It could potentially hold up the buyer from getting another house.
Well, here's the problem, is that it potentially could, in the event that the seller, well, here's the thing. Here's the only leverage you do have, right, against the seller. Hey, we're 10 days into this and we got 45 days to, 35 days to closing, all right? And the seller says, well, they don't want to buy my house, so put it back on the market. Not so fast, there, cowboy or cowgirl, all right? No way. Well, what do you mean? You said you wanted to cancel. I do want to cancel. Sign it, and you can put it back on the market all day long. Well, we're not signing that. There's an escrow dispute. Okay, whatever you want to call it, but you better not market that property as active, because I might change my mind 34 days and 12 hours and 13 minutes from now and show up to closing. Well, really? You might? I said, I don't know. I might, unless you sign that. Right? That's the only leverage you have, is say, hey, look, don't market this home. All right? And by the way, you guys come to me all the time from the reverse and say, hey, Mr. My seller doesn't want to sign this. Does that preclude us from remarketing the property? The buyer's indicated there's a dispute. Can we remarket the property as active? I say no. All right? Not until closing date comes and goes. Now that's a voided or invalid contract. It's gone. Now, does that preclude the seller from selling to somebody else? No. Does the fact that we're still in dispute over the escrow stop us from re-entering another contract? No. It's a separate deal once the contract is null, right? But up until then, we can't.
Well, and that's why the form, I think we think through this.
By the way, turn sideways and I can do a little sketch of your profile.
The form that's signed is a two-step process. It's the termination of the contract, and then it says who gets what as far as the deposit. So it's terminating the contract, which addresses exactly what Bob was commenting on, because that is leverage that you have. And then the other would be, how is the escrow money to be dispersed? So that is why that form.
And it's a combined form. Right. So you're saying if we're representing the seller and we delivered a termination of contract, but not a release of escrow, that potentially could allow us to market the property. Hey, we're terminating this contract, but we're not saying that we're not agreeing with what's going to happen to the earnest money.
Well, terminating the contract would void whatever obligations the parties have as far as.
That's why that verbiage is in the termination. Okay.
Exactly, and that's why it's important to use that form. Everybody, like 99% of the people who. And that's immediately the form they think of, but they don't really think of the verbiage. Why do they have cancellation? Why is that in there? And that's exactly why it's in there. That's why you want that form signed. Don't do anything when you want to resolve an escrow dispute. That is the form that you want to use, because it addresses termination, which Bob brought up, and how are the funds to be dispersed.
Okay. So, and we do need to hurry along now. But Jim, you got a question?
Just part of the stuff that I sent to you, I still want to know what happens to the money when there is no resolution.
Oh, yeah, no resolution. We know what happens with an EDO.
What happens to the money?
All the stuff we learn in class. How many of you guys are newer, just went to class? How many of you guys went to ethics class, by the way? Everybody's hand better be up. All right, you've got now how many days left? 22 days or whatever it's left. All right, to get that done. So we all know what happens, or we had to memorize it so we could pass the stinking test. About what happens if escrow disbursement order goes to the recovery fund and all that garbage. But now they're not held by us; they're held by a title company. So what happens to you at the end of the day? You know what? This thing was supposed to close 3.5 years ago, right? Yep. I've still got this money sitting in my escrow account. Nobody's agreed what's going to happen. What do you guys do with it?
All right. There is no time limitation as far as when a title company must resolve an escrow dispute. There is some heat put on by the auditors from the underwriter, whether it's Fidelity National or the Old Republic, any of those. But there's nothing as far as a time by which it has to be resolved. So unless there's some very conscientious people at the title company, it can just sit there a while. Now, what happens when it sits there a long time? At the end, if there's no resolution, the title company has two options. One is to file what's known as an interpleader action. That would be a suit in the courts, basically saying, hey, we're just a third party. We're not making a claim to this. There's a buyer and a seller who are making claim.
Tell me what to do with it.
Exactly. Judge, we want you to enter an order telling us what to do with this. The problem is...
See, I'll speed him along because he's used to getting paid by the hour.
That's right. So the problem with that, because that was a very timely... Because once the title company files an interpleader, they're entitled, the judge will enter an order saying, okay, the two of you, the buyer and seller, have to do something, you have to set a trial or do something. But in addition, they say that, well, the title company attorney is entitled to have his or her fees and the cost of filing the suit taken out of the $1,000 or $2,500 or whatever. And so that eats up part of the money that's available.
Here's another quick question, and
right.
I promise this will be fast. What does a title company have the right before dispersing or to pay survey and all that kind of stuff? Sometimes these survey companies say, hey, look, we did the survey. I don't care if you guys can't get along and decide to get this closed, but we still want to get paid, right? And so, hey, we're going to release it, but then all of a sudden the check comes back and it's short $380 or whatever it is for the survey, and the buyer says, what the heck, right? And well, because does it depend on who ordered that survey?
Well, I tell you what, no title company has the right to disperse funds.
Period.
Exactly. That's why we have a closing disclosure, and of course, right before the signatures, it says we hereby authorize you to disperse according to this list of expenses. You know, it's my position. You don't, as much as I'd like to.
Right.
Wow, there's some money there. I can just take that and pay off there's no authority for that. At the end of the, as far as if an interpleader is not filed and the money's just sitting there and the people can't be found or nobody's claiming it or whatever, then the fancy word escheats to the state. It has to be paid in.
That was one of my vocabulary words in the text.
There you go.
Back in 1993.
That's right. It was in a rap song too. But it is. Yeah.
For an attorney.
It is paid over to the state. I mean, we can't hold it forever, and so after a period of time, you have to, and your auditors will say, well, wait a minute, what are you going to do? You've been holding that for 3 years. You need to do something with that. And of course, the something is you pay it to the state, and then it's the state's money. So obviously, we try to avoid doing that.
Okay, so let's wrap. Okay.
Wrap? All right.
Let's wrap. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, just kidding. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
One quick thing that I do, I always send out a summary terms, like the timeline. I
Timelines.
think it's excellent.
Yep.
I've been doing it for the last year. I think they do it in commercial, like they said. But what I do is at the top, the first paragraph says, this is a summary of terms, to the other agent. And if you see anything that's incorrect, please get back to me within 48 hours. If you don't get back to me within 48 hours, then we'll all agree that these are correct.
Right.
Because a lot of times the other agent doesn't even look at it.
Correct.
But if I send that out, a lot of times if I'll make a mistake or something, we can work it out in the very beginning to make sure our timeline is exactly.
That's a great, and also there's a meeting of the minds.
Yeah. So that way there's no question.
Excellent.
What's the date? We're all on this. We're all working together.
And to that point, that's awesome, because to the point of David's shock and awe comment way back, all right, was that if you are 100% right, all right, and people refuse to sign it, then instead of paying David $2,000, you say, hey, look, here's what I did. David, here's the email I sent. It said da-da-da-da. For $100 or whatever it is, he can write a quick letter saying, hey, you guys better back off this position now before we really let the dogs loose. And here's our evidence, right, these 18 things, and you got no pot to piss in and so on and so forth. By the way, I heard what that came from. Way back in the Dust Bowl, right? You literally had no pot to piss in. All right, but you've got no leg to stand on, and so you better back off your position now, because if not, we're not only going after the 1,000, but we're gonna, if it's any other stuff, read paragraph says non-prevailing party has the right to you say best, all right, in David's fancy language, all right, but he can write a letter and he gives us something to work with, that at least maybe for $100 we can get that $1,000 back rather than have to spend $2,000 to get $1,000. At the end of the day, here's the answer. If buyer and seller don't agree, I don't care, because trust me, I've talked to your sellers. And I've said, hey, Mr. Seller, I know we represent you, all right, but here's the thing. You're screwed. All right? Sorry. Contract's very clear. The buyer has the right to cancel the contract based upon the home inspection. All right? If you choose to go through this process, I want to make you aware of the potential ramifications. A, you got to keep your house off the market until the closing date, because we don't have an agreement what's happening with this contract. And B, the buyer does have the potential to go after not only you for the earnest money, but all the costs to recoup that earnest money. And so there potentially could be, and you've got to defend yourself as well. So are you prepared for that, or do you want to just move on and sell your house? Now, if that's the discussion we would have with our seller, because our sellers are, because at the end of the day, I can't sign it, right? David can't sign it. The money's held at David. We can't make that decision. It has to be between the buyer and the seller, all right? Those are the signers of the thing. David's thought is get as much in your favor on the front side so we can overwhelm them with that first initial letter to say, hey, look, don't even go there, right? Okay, you have nothing, you have no position here, so you better back off now. And the fact that he has ESQ, do you have ESQ behind your name?
I do.
Esquire, okay?
You bet.
All right, so the fact that he has Esquire behind his name carries more weight than you and I saying it over the phone. Jim?
I also like to add that in my contract class, if you guys have taken it, you heard me say that. It also, it depends on us and to control our clients. So if we're on that side where they won't release it,
Yeah.
You need to explain to them up front before you even get to that point where you're yelling at them and saying, hey, look, you signed this contract, you need to release this money because they are right. Do it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Tell them all the terms of it. Say, hey, look, this is a get out of jail free section. That's why we're doing an as is contract. During that time, they can walk for any reason, and you have to release the escrow. Be proactive with it.
Exactly.
Explain the contract to them before they sign it, because that's a lot of times we just say, hey, here's the offer, here's the dollar amount, go ahead and sign it.
Right.
And they just look at how long it's before it's going to close and the dollar amount. And it's like, no, look at the terms in the contract, all the
Right.
reasons why somebody can cancel or why they can cancel. There's only a couple spots where they can, but the buyer has quite a bit.
Right,
So-
and that's up to us. Now, unfortunately, not every broker has that discussion with him, so you have the buyer, and the other side saying, oh, sorry, the seller won't sign. You're like, well, get him under control, will you? I mean, talk to him and tell him what the contract says. If you point out some things, at least deliver this to them. So all you can do is do your best. At the end of the day, if there's going to be a fight, all right, realize that there usually isn't a winner, right? The only winner would be David, all right, because he gets paid $2,000 to get you $1,000, right? And so, right? And so at the end of the day, you end up splitting it. So just manage that situation as best you can.
And let me just jump on a point a very good point that Jim made, and that is that I've been involved in probably 300 to 400 proceedings in front of FREC, all right? In all these conversations representing people and talking to people who file complaints, one of the primary motivations is that they were surprised that something happened. In other words, there's surprise, and then there's frustration, and then there's that what the hell, and then they're looking around for somebody to blame, all right?
Other than themselves, which talks about deeper.
Exactly. So we're talking
issues in
here,
our society.
the theme here was having your client successful in getting more of the deposit money back. But also, just right with that is the thought that, hey, we don't want complaints being filed against the sales associates at Future Home. And the best way, I can tell you the primary motivation in most complaints that are filed is surprise, frustration. I didn't know. I thought I was going to get that money. That was mine. What you've got to do, as Jim was saying, is be proactive and explain, here are the timelines, here are the risks, this is what's involved, and have them realistic so that if something happens, there's no surprise. They don't look immediately and blame you. What they recall, even though they may not admit it, at least they know in their subconscious somewhere, they will say, that he or she did make that point and say that was a risk, that could happen. So communicate with your clients, let them know ahead of time what is happening, why things are happening, and what the risks are, and you will avoid not only people getting upset, but also avoid having complaints filed against your license.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, got it? And be prepared to split it. That's usually what ends up happening. So split $10 instead of $1,000.
There you go.
All right. All right. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. All right. Not bad for an attorney, huh? I'm telling you, he's a good guy. All right. Now, things are about to really liven up because if you've never heard Terry before, look out. Right? Am I right, Terry? And she's got a red dress on and everything, so she is festive as all get out. You'll see her at the holiday party. Terry Pryor's with American Home Shield, and she's today's meeting sponsor, but there's some changes coming, right, that you need to make us aware of? Some things?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes.
Sorry, there you
Thank
go.
You. Hi.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know that I'll need this, but a couple of
Well,
you
it's not
came in.
nothing to project your voice, it's just so that they can hear you on the
Oh, on the other side. Oh. Hi. merry, happy, all that good stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to share the story with you. My son is in Fairbanks, Alaska in the Army. And he called us about 3 months ago to tell us that he was going to be getting out a little early. So of course we're like, yay, we're so excited. And then he says, oh, and by the way, his wife is a manager at a retail store in Fairbanks. They don't have many, but it's actually national. So she's already now, 3 months ago, put in for a transfer, and they want to get back to the Central Florida area, and Orlando specifically. So when my son calls to tell us that he's going to get out early, he says, oh, and by the way, my wife, her name is Tori, just so you know, Tori has already put in for a transfer, and it looks like it might happen. Is it okay if she comes on early with the dog and moves in with y'all? Well, for those of you who have children, of course, what is your answer? Of course, we would love to have her 3 months early. Well, anyway, we'll say it would have it. Her transfer came. She moved in with us December 1st and the dog. And the reason I tell you this is because I'm looking for some sort of warranty in the event of a breakdown there. Hi, I'm Terry Pryor. I am with American Home Shield, the home warranty company I want y'all to know about. And if you don't know what we look like, this is it. I think I gave everybody one. We are the home warranty company that we want you to all look at and use. And I just want to share with you, there's a couple of changes that are coming with our referral program. But real quick, I've been with American Home Shield for 21 years. I have 3 children. They all have jobs, college educated, and none of them, well, now one of them lives at home, but the others are all gone, which is great. But I just want to share with you a couple of things that I feel very, very important before we get into some of the changes. How many of you in here feel that sellers are just not interested in giving extra money, right? The attitude I hear from agents often is, my sellers just take the attitude that why would I just automatically offer an additional $500 to a sale when right now I don't have to? Well, I just want to share this with you if you aren't aware. Sellers can have coverage during the listing period with no money up front and the promise to just pay $75 at the end of the day if it ends up that the buyers don't get it. And it's a negotiable thing for the buyer side. The $400 or $500 plan, guys, is always negotiable. So even if you're marketing it as to have available, home warranty available for the buyer, it's not a commitment to the seller to pay that bigger amount if it's not in the contract itself. But the seller can have coverage from major breakdowns during the listing. And get this, there is no money due up front. Isn't that great? They don't have to pay a dime, and all you have to do is order it. It starts immediately, and in the event of a major breakdown of one of their major systems, AC, heating, electrical, plumbing, or water heater, before closing, the warranty is responsible for going out there and doing those repairs. You're selling as is, right? Pretty much everybody's selling as is now, right? Well, I have a question for you. And, hold on. I have prizes, what? I have prizes for participation, if anybody chooses to try to answer. You're selling as is, so I have a question for anyone who wants to answer. If your seller is in the home, still living there, and the water heater breaks down, are they going to fix it? Yes. Okay, well, everybody answered. Oh, well. Okay, the answer is yes. They're not going to live there taking cold showers. It's got to be fixed. So why not have seller's coverage in place for how much money down? Zero. Zero. We go out, we get them hot water again. No disclosure has to be made. Repairs are done through us. And now the sale continues to go, or the marketing continues to go smoothly. And at the end of the day, if it's negotiated out of the deal, the buyer doesn't ask, or through the negotiations, the seller says, you know what, I will take that horribly lowball price, but I am not going to include the warranty too. The only thing they owe is the $75 for seller's coverage. The other area that it comes into play is when that inspection goes through and the buyer sends over the inspector, if they find things that are wrong with those major systems, we're responsible for those repairs. Isn't that great?
That's still under the seller's coverage.
That would still be under the seller's coverage, right? That would still be under the seller's coverage, and they are not out of pocket for a new water heater or more plumbing or a toilet. So understand that seller's coverage can be huge with holding a deal together and keeping your seller safe from out-of-pocket expenses. Okay? So I just want to make sure I made that point to you. Any questions about seller's coverage? Yes, prize. Yes. What's your question?
What if the journey takes a year?
What if what now?
The selling
Process. What if it takes a year to get a contract?
Okay, great question. The seller's coverage gets initially 6 months, okay? If you need it extended, we look at how much money we have spent on that listing so far. We would then give you up to, but not to exceed, 18 months of coverage for a seller.
Additional 18 or?
18 total. 18 total. Now, hopefully, heaven forbid, your sales don't take you that long anymore, but you do have potentially up to 18 months of coverage for your seller for $75. There are limits. I won't go into all the details, but there are a few limits. If you're interested, let me know. And guys, that's another thing. Please tell your buyers and sellers 1-800-CALL-TERRY. Now, those are not the call numbers, so don't try TER. But if you have them call me, it gets you out of trying to figure out all the details of what we cover. Yes?
They can just buy it again, though, right? Like, say you're selling a multi-million-dollar place, it takes a couple of years to, it could take that long. Who knows? Depends on, because you got a smaller market. But say you did the 75 for the 6 month or 18 months, and then you just paid you the 75 and then just started a new one.
No.
Can't do it?
No.
Okay.
It's only an 18 month for that time of listing. Now, if they take the house off the market and then they put it back on in another 2 or 3 months, yes, but not at that time. Yes.
And Jim's question, if it takes that long for a large deal to occur, could they just buy a home warranty for themselves and renew it if it goes beyond a year?
Yes, they can. Because that happens quite often. A seller may decide that they want to now rent instead of actually selling it. Can they get a warranty? Yes, but it's not this one. It's called a consumer program, which again, they could go through me. I could help assist them with it, but it's very different in terms of its terms, and they could choose a plethora of different plans. This one is skeletal. It's designed just for the real estate market to make it very simple and succinct. The other one has a lot more choices, a lot more deductible plans, very different. But yes, they can get it, and it's renewable year after year. Yes?
I have another question.
Yes.
When I talk to people looking for clients, and a lot of times they're not interested or they're not ready to sell at this time, but they're curious about the home warranty. Does the house have to be under contract or at listing in order to get a home warranty?
To get this one.
To get a seller's
To
coverage,
get, to get the seller's coverage and to get the real estate plan. This is the real estate product.
Okay, so they can get a home warranty, it's just a different program.
Correct. That's called a consumer policy, and that's different from the real estate product. Okay? Yes?
Yeah. Do you send out like an inspector to check the appliances first before you allow the seller to have the seller's package?
Well, no. First of all, let me make sure I clarify one thing. Seller's package only includes the major systems: AC, heating, electrical, plumbing, and water heater. The seller is not eligible for coverage on appliances, but we do not require an inspection. We don't send one out, and we don't require one. It's just, obviously, I'm sure Bob and everyone would agree that that's the best way to go. If you're representing your buyer, you want to have it inspected for their protection and yours, but it's not required by us. Okay? Yes?
What's the maximum quote?
Well, there's several. The maximum of the basic, if you will, the maximum of what's Basic with a house is, the highest one is $600, and that includes ceiling fans, garage door openers, blah, blah. But then you can add pools, spas, well pump, septic. You can add, there's a few optional coverages you can see on here. Yes?
I've actually sold 2 of these so far this year, which has been great.
Thank you. Drink ticket. What? I'm sorry.
Actually, the first month we had to use a plumbing issue because there was a leak. And I know some different coverages, but I have a house right now that we're selling, and it's a new AC system. But I heard with American Home Shield that when their AC needs to be replaced, if it's the air handler or the outside unit, is it true that y'all only replace one and the owner has to replace the other? Do y'all replace both?
No, that's a different warranty company. Okay. We replace both.
Okay, for that same amount. Awesome.
We replace, if we have to replace the outside unit, the full unit, by law in the state of Florida, you have to replace the inside now. We, at least at this point, we are covering both. Okay, just so you know, it is a huge savings. So anyway, guys, if you want into the nitty-gritty details, I could certainly make that happen for you. I don't want to spend the time, but more importantly, I don't want you to spend the time to trying to figure out all the details. 1-800-CALL-TERRY. Okay, now to get into a few of the referral changes. For those of you who have used American Home Shield and understand that there's a form, a website that you go to fill in the appliance brands and the date and the square footage and everything of the home, that is going to end on December 31st. If y'all were looking at your emails, Maureen just sent an email out to you guys saying that with showing you guys who are still eligible for that referral money, if you don't get that done by the end of the month, it's gone forever. Starting January 1st, and I don't know all the details yet, and I apologize because it's still a work in progress. January 1st, it's going to be more of an automatic scenario where you're going to order the warranty, you're going to give the information about the customer. There is an opportunity to earn up to $100 per closing. Right now it's $75. If you give us this much information, automatically it's going to be $50. If you give us a little extra, it's going to be $75. And if you give us both sides information, you could earn $100. But that is all about to happen on January 1st, and as soon as I get the absolute details, I will make sure that you guys know, because guys, I don't really care. I mean, I don't want you to do it for that reason. It's a great product and it's a great protection for you and your company. But why not take advantage of it? If you're going to promote the warranty anyway, why not take advantage of the additional reimbursement money? It'll help you. It's truly supposed to be advertising reimbursement, because you're helping us out by advertising. We're going to reimburse you a little bit and say thank you. Questions, comments, concerns?
As soon as you have details, you'll let us know.
As soon as I have the details, and I don't know them all and how it exactly works. I just know that now you're not going to have to give us brand names of appliances, square footages, how many bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. Yes?
Is the $75 in addition to the cost of the warranty for that coverage for the seller?
That $75 is for you. That's after closing.
Oh, I mean the 75. I'm sorry, the seller coverage. I went back to your other.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Seller's coverage is in addition to the basic policy. Yes, and just FYI, this is where we get a little confusing. There's also a $75 copay trade service fee. Okay, so we got 75s flying everywhere, but it's $75 for seller's coverage, which is in addition to the promise to pay one of these prices at closing. But guys, again, buyer's side is negotiable. That side, that big $100 side, is always negotiable, okay? And we don't care where the money comes from, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But seller's coverage is so important. I've seen it over and over and over again. deals falling through, or an agent will call me like 2 days before closing and go, Terry, the warranty's gonna go to the buyer. We're getting it for the buyer. The seller doesn't have coverage, but can we just wait for 2 days and have the buyer call in the problem? And I'm like, what? No, what? I'm like, what? We broke up. Guys, it's like, can you go out and wreck your car and then go, oh, I'm getting that policy on today. Yeah. So please get it on early in the listing, and then if the breakdowns occur before closing, for $75, it's peace of mind for you.
There's no upfront cost anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing upfront lost anyway.
Got one over there.
Question? Oh, yes.
Selling a duplex,
Yes.
is it the same price as a single-family home?
No.
Or is it different?
Different. Different.
I will need to get those prices.
I will just call me, or
I will.
get with me. Well, in closing, guys, I want to share with you this.
1-800, what's it again?
1-800 call Terry. Okay.
It costs you $5.99 a minute.
Yeah, it's what, yeah. Yeah, you'll hear a whole different voice with me. No. But in closing, I want to share this with you. Okay, so my daughter-in-law's been there at our house now. What's today? The six? Okay, 6 days with the dog. Oh, the dog. Okay. My husband and I went out like on.
You know, this is YouTube and she can see this.
I know, I was just gonna say that.
Oh, really? But we love her. We love her. And she was telling me all these things that she wanted, and I said, well, why not rent a house? And now would be a good time because both incomes are still showing. So my husband and I on December 2nd went looking, and they've been approved. And yesterday yesterday they got approved. So, gosh, they won't be living with us much longer, but it's going to be so cool for them to have their own big space. So anyway, merry, happy, everything. I'll see you at the Christmas party. Come find me. I'll have a few drink tickets. And thank you guys for all your support this year. It's been a great, great year. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh.
I'm going to borrow that back from you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. That's all right.
There you go.
Good deal. All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, cool. We are almost right on time, so that's perfect. Hey, couple quick changes. I'll be 5 minutes at the most. Christmas party today. Remember that. All right. 1 o'clock. Wentworth, where are we? Wentworth Country Club. All right. Guys know where that is? East Lake Road. Just go up there. All right. Look for the Raging Kegger party happening when Jim Shands is at the back of his expedition. All right. Okay, that'll be a good sign. All right. So I have that. Okay, so the first of the year, a couple things happened in the first of the year. I told you we're going to be roaming around a little bit. We're going to be out and about, active. What happened is that I started teaching 100K several years ago. And when I was teaching the 100K group in Orlando this last time, with smaller group setting, we were just doing them around the conference table. So it was really cool. So it was good, intimate time. But we're doing those breakout sessions. We would do a breakout session, when I say just like 15 minutes before, that always lasted 45 minutes. Right? We're just going to real quick cover the financing contingency clause in the contract. Or we're just going to real quick cover agency relationships. Or we're just going to real quick cover, here, some of the other stuff that a couple of other things that we covered. Well, they ended up turning into being longer times, but it was good because we were around a table and they were just able to ask lots of questions, right? Oh yeah, but what if this, what if that? Kind of like in Jim's contract class, which is awesome. It just becomes a free flow of ideas. Hey, look, here's something, that's going on. Well, with that in mind, I said, we should do this more often, right? So here's what we've got. Be prepared. First of all, a couple things coming. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, we're going to be freshening up the Facebook page, all right, because it's going to be a good source for us to communicate with you as well. So I think it's just Future Home Realty. Just, go and find it on Facebook and you can like us. Be prepared there because we're going to start posting our calendar. Our training calendar, and this is no fault of Jim's, just because Jim has about 5,628 things to do each day, all right? And so our calendar has not been as reliable as it could have been, right? Our training calendar that's on our back office under Future Home Realty. So we're taking that off Jim's plate, all right? So he's going to have 5,627 things to do instead of 628. And so come January 1st, that's going to be consistently updated, so that will be a reliable source so you can go. We're going to post that on our Facebook page. We're probably going to post it, if we can, on Instagram and all sorts of different places that you can find information about us, where the next training or event or something's happening, all right? So that's all going to be posted there, so be prepared for that. Now, that stuff is going to include, we used to wait until February to launch 100K for the spring session. Well, you know what? We're going to hit the year off running. So the first 100K session is going to be January 3rd. All right, so we're going to knock it out. You look for some emails. You'll be seeing some emails coming from us. We want you to come, bring other people, but also it's going to be filling up quick because we've got an email campaign going and some other ways that we're going to get a hold of everybody. Let me just give you the first couple weeks of January just so you can kind of like get an idea. So on Tuesday, January 3rd, that's the first Tuesday of the month. That's when we always have our office meeting, this meeting that we're at right now. First of all, we're changing the time frame. This has always started at 10 a.m. It's going to back up to 9:30 now. We're going to get going a little earlier. We used to make it 10 o'clock for years because there used to be another group that met in front of us. Well, they haven't been here for years, and why we've still kept it 10 o'clock, I don't know. But it's going to change to 9:30 so we can get things going. I would rather make it even earlier, but I also know you got to get kids to school and some other things happening, so we want to be sensitive to that. So 9:30 will be the time here. On January 3rd, we're going to have our first what we call a coffee chat, all right? Coffee chat at 7:30 at the West Chase office. Come if you want, don't come, doesn't matter. Bring your own coffee, and we'll probably have a topic that we'll cover for about 15 or 20 minutes, and it'll be a free open forum for the next, till the remainder of an hour and a half, all right? So that'll be our first coffee chat at the West Chase office. That afternoon, after this office meeting, we'll have a 9:30 meeting. We're going to have a lunch and learn up in the Newport Richey office. All right, so like I said, we'll be roaming around same topic, different group of people. You want to come to all of them, doesn't matter to me. All right, we'll just be sitting around and lunch and learn. Just come and bring your own lunch. All right, if you don't want to be berated by me, you better make it healthy. All right, because I will berate you. All right, so hey, this is for the winners. All right, you guys, the losers, can stay home and eat whatever they want, all right? But okay, the winners, we're gonna change your life in every aspect. So we'll have a lunch and learn in Newport Richey. We're gonna have our first next meeting of the year, which is those who have produced in the last 12 months have done at least 15 transactions and or 4 million plus in production. All right, so if you met that category, you qualify for the next. Different group of people, smaller, intimate setting with a group of higher producers that have a different set of problems. So we discuss and kind of hash that out. That's at 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock that night is our first 100K launch, and that'll be at the Hampton Inn in Oldsmar. All right, so that's for just that Tuesday. All right. Following Wednesday morning, we're having another coffee chat down at the Hampton Inn in Clearwater before our 100K for that time. That's at 7:30 as well. Okay, that's Clearwater. It's near Pro. It'll be kind of down that way. At 9:30, we're doing 100K in that spot. All right, will be our launch of 100K for that session. By the way, the 100Ks are the same, so you don't need to come to both of those. All right, but there's just opportunities for you to come whichever one you want. And then at 1 o'clock on that Wednesday, the January 4th, we're going to have a lunch and learn at the Wesley Chapel office. All right, so again, we're moving around. We're going to be there for those of you who want to attend. And then after that, for those of you watching online, none of you are here, then we'll go to the next at 5 o'clock in Orlando. All right, and then a 7 o'clock launch of a next in Orlando that night. The following morning, we'll have a launch of 100K in Orlando. And then the next week after that, we'll be doing some lunch and learns, coffee chats, and 100Ks in Jacksonville. So just want to give you that first week. There'll be a ton of opportunity. No one will ever have the excuse that, oh, you know what, I just didn't feel like I could connect. Well, here's your chance to connect. All right, we're big, and that's good. All right, trust me, I like it when we're big. All right, that's a good thing. But I want to feel small when we have to feel small as well. I want you to feel like you get the support that you need and want and desire, but I'm not going to come to your house, okay? I'm doing everything I can, all right, to try and be around you, all right? But this time of the year, we get people, oh, you know what, I think I'm just, I just really couldn't get it done, and I don't want to pay my board dues, and, this business isn't working for me. The business isn't working for you because you're not working the business, all right? This business is being torn up by people that have been in the business less than 9 months right now because they're actually digging in and applying some tried and true principles, all right, that are out there, all right? So we're going to be out and about. Mondays, we're going to have a weekly, just 60-second video blast, a Monday motivation. All right, that's coming. So it's going to be on our Facebook page. It'll be on all sorts of different apps. We'll keep you aware of how you're going to find it. All right, just some different ideas and some things that, hey, look, I just want to, let's get our week started off right. All right, and again, it's going to be, it's, you know, that, if you want a pat on the hand and a, you know, oh, it's okay, just, you know, go ahead and keep failing. All right, that's the wrong place to be. All right, okay, don't listen to it. Okay, just choose not to listen to that. That's fine. All right, if you want someone that's going to listen to your excuses, don't come to the coffee chats and don't come to lunch and learns. All right, let's get it. If you want to, again, your success is your success, but I'm just here to tell you, we are going to re-dust off. All right, just be prepared for this. You guys get the first blast of it. A couple of years ago, we stopped saying Happy New Year. We were saying Happy Do Year. Do you remember that? All right, because this was going to be the year that we're going to do something, not just talk about it. All right. Well, guess what? We're dusting it back off. 2017, from here on out, you're going to hear me say Happy Do Year and not Happy New Year, because we're done talking. All right. Let me quote a very famous, beautiful, intelligent philosopher named Jeanette McDougall. All right. Okay. Who tells me all the time, what you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say. All right? So all the time, I'm getting that. Trust me. So this is all, I'm just regurgitating what I'm being told at home. All right? So it's nothing new to me. All right? I'm just telling you that no excuses at my house, so I'm going to take that no excuses philosophy and help you guys develop that no excuses for you. And whatever that might mean for you. Okay? Success means different things for different people. I'm not going to set the bar for you, but when you set the bar, I'm going to help you reach that bar, whatever that might look like. Okay? Fair enough? All right? Good deal? So pay attention to all that. We're going to be doing a much better job of communicating with us as long as you don't unsubscribe, all right, from our emails, okay? All right, you'll be able to get information from us, so don't do that, all right? And pay attention to Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Better to like our Facebook page and or 100K page. Get on 100K group, public, or that closed group. I mean, friending me, I don't really post stuff on my own personal Facebook page. I have one because I have to have one to do the other business stuff, but I never post on my personal. So you can friend me. I have a lot of friends, but I never post anything there, so just pay attention to that other stuff. All right, is where we're going to go. Any questions I can answer for you right now? No? All right, it was 7 minutes, I promised. I broke my, okay, I thought it was going to be 5. Yeah?
So you need to be on the 100K Club and the Future Home Realty Facebook?
Well, different things are going to be on there. We'll post like those Monday motivations and the calendar. We'll post on both. All right. Okay. So you can just follow Future Home Realty, right? I think the other one, and again, be whichever one you think is valuable. The thing about 100K is that it's not just me. The Future Home page will be just me and a few admins posting, right? Whereas the 100K page, it's all of y'all posting. All y'all. I mean, we say that in Nashville. All y'all. All right. Okay. Okay, it's everybody out there posting. That's the 100K page. And that's where you can post things like, hey, look, I'm struggling with, I got to write a home to sell contingency. What's the best way to go about that? Hey, I want to set an open house on someplace where can anybody help me out? Hey, I'm sitting my first open house. It's on a busier street. Anybody got any ideas about where I should do, where I should get my signs? All that stuff is out there. I mean, we got 600 plus people following on that 100K group page. It's incredible. All right, what's going on there, and they answer all sorts of great questions are answered. Tom Scaglione monitors that, and he's the, I wake up in the morning and Tom's already awake, all right, and he's already answered 5 of the questions. I just go along and like, boom, I'm done. All right, great answer, Tom, that a boy. Couple thumbs up, that a boy, and we're out of here, all right? Okay, it's perfect, because it's a great way for us to roll. So, fair enough? Tom?
One thing, you can like the Facebook page, but you have to join the 100K club.
Correct. Facebook is just a page. The 100K is a group. All right. So I'm hip with that Facebook stuff. I got it down. All right. Okay. And pretty soon we're going to be tweeting and Instagramming and all sorts of stuff. All right. Okay. Yeah. Snapchat. It'll go away. All right. Yeah. That's for the other stuff.
The Owl app.
All right. What's that?
The Owl app. You can do all 3 at one time.
Well, I got to learn from you. How come when you're live, how come it's backwards?
Well, it's because of the front-facing camera. So I'm using my webcam.
I'm like, dude, are you in London? You're driving on the right side of the car. What happened? You know what I mean?
It's the front-facing.
Okay, all right. Okay, got it. All right, good deal. It's the front-facing camera thing. Got it. I always wanted. Oh, see, look at that. See, you look like an Apple guy.
I know.
Hey, real quickly, you got to tell your story. So Daniel couldn't sleep yesterday at 4 o'clock in the morning, got up and read the Bible, and then what happened?
Well, I went to the gym, and at 6 o'clock I sold, I had a duplex that I was talking to a builder that was working out right next to me about, and he goes, I'd like to see it. And I sent him, while I'm on the treadmill, the MLS, my MLS app, I just sent him over the listing, and he looked at it and goes, can I see it right now? I said, well, we got a call, and there might be a 24-hour delay. He didn't even see the house by 9 o'clock or 9:30. We were writing a contract on it. He knows the owner. So needless to say, he calls the owner and says, I want to buy your house, or I want to buy your duplex. The owner goes, I'm selling it to you. They go to church together. So needless to say, this morning when I go to the gym, which we have the contract.
Which he's going to the gym every morning now. If that's not motivation to work out, then nothing else is.
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself spiritually and physically.
And financially.
Financially, yes.
Okay.
And so I went to the gym this morning. He goes, you know what? He came over to my house yesterday, and there's 2 more duplexes that he's selling in a different area. And I'm going to go look at both of them today, and if he has them listed with, because they're friends with the realtor that he has.
Right.
But if he has it listed with the realtor, he's going to call me. So it's a win-win, you know.
Absolutely.
And they're closing in about 10 days.
Be prepared, though. It's awesome, right?
Yeah,
Came just out there and said, you know what? And you know, go ahead.
If you can't sell, I have 3 closings this month. Now, only one of them's on paperless pipeline, but I have 3 closings this month.
Full disclosure, Maureen, if you're watching right now.
Sorry, Maureen, you're about to get a lot today. Okay. But there's 3 closings this month that I'm having. So you can sell in December. Like, you can sell. And when you work at it, I took a couple months off because I had a death in the family. But when you work at it, you can sell homes. It's simple. So
there's a slide that I'm preparing right now. It's just that easy. Mm-hmm. All right, we're trying to way overcomplicate this whole real estate business. All right, way. Okay, it's just that easy. All right, hashtag that. Okay, I'm just telling you, it is that easy if you just decide to do it. Ron Chorney.
Combining the gym and real estate.
Yeah.
Years ago, there was a guy that we used to go to the gym together, and he had a T-shirt that said, the first rule of exercise is you have to show up. Same rule applies to real estate.
That's right, exactly. You know, you have to show up. That is so awesome. That's exactly it. Yeah, because you're not, I mean, the weights don't lift themselves, right? Okay.
Did you do the application while you're on your treadmill? I mean,
no, what I did is I went home because I knew he was really interested. At 7:30, I called the other realtor.
There was a new app we didn't know
And
about.
they had 2 other offers.
Well, you sent them the MLS from your phone,
yeah,
though, right?
I sent them the MLS.
Yeah, right there.
And you can do the app from your phone on I use Transaction Desk, but I don't like Transaction Desk on my phone or my iPad, so I prefer to do it at home.
Okay.
So.
Okay. It's just that simple, but you should be out and about, right? People aren't, you know, he could have sat and, you know, whatever. Okay. Just go do it, all right? And if you're having trouble, go and do it. I've got 1,500 times that you can be around us. Trust me, you're not going to be around me for long without being excited about this business. Either that or you get out. You're like, dude, I'm going to go to that, or I'm just going to quit coming to those things, all right? Coffee chat, schmoffy chat. He's had already ate 4 cups before I got here at 7:30. What's going on? All right, because I'm just telling you, I want this for you, all right? So if 2017 is like, you know what, if 2016 hasn't been where you want it to be, all right, that's okay. All right, we're turning the page because it's not Happy New Year, it's Happy Do Year. That's what we're going to do, all right, is we're going to make it happen to whatever that means for each one of us. We're going to make it happen. Fair enough? All right, hope to see all of you in 1 hour and 43 minutes. All right, question? No? Everybody good? All right, awesome. Thanks for coming. Have a great day. If I don't talk to you before, if you're not going to be at the party because you're too busy showing property, great job. That's awesome. All right. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you do, Kwanzaa with us, and have a fun time. All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bob,